She is not replying. You can see she has been online. You know she saw your message. And she is choosing, deliberately, consciously, to say nothing. And that silence is doing something to you that no one talks about. It is not just frustrating. It is destabilizing. It is making you question your worth, your value, your entire sense of self. Here is what nobody tells you about that feeling. It is not weakness. It is biology. And once you understand exactly what is happening inside your own psychology right now, you will never be controlled by this situation again. Stay with me, because this is going to change the way you see everything. Welcome back to Psychology on Love, the channel dedicated to helping you understand the real science behind attraction, behavior, and human connection. If you're new here, subscribe right now. Every single week we go deep into the psychology that most people never learn. And that knowledge is the difference between men who struggle in relationships and men who thrive. Let us start with what is actually happening inside your brain. When someone we care about goes silent, our nervous system does not register it as a minor inconvenience. It registers it as a threat. Psychologists call this social pain, and brain imaging studies show it activates the exact same regions as physical pain. So when you feel like a silence is literally hurting you, you are not being dramatic. Your brain is genuinely processing it as danger. On top of that, something called variable reward reinforcement kicks in. This is the same psychological mechanism behind slot machines. When reward, in this case her attention, becomes unpredictable, your brain becomes obsessed with chasing it. Every time your phone buzzes, your dopamine spikes. Every time it is not her, you crash. She may not even know she is doing this to you, but the effect is real. And right now, without understanding it, you are completely at the mercy of it. Now let us talk about her. Because understanding her psychology is what actually gives you control back. Not manipulation, not games, but genuine understanding. Women go silent for several distinct reasons. And knowing which one you are dealing with changes everything. Reason 1. Emotional withdrawal. Something in the dynamic felt unsafe to her. Not necessarily dangerous, emotionally unsafe. Maybe she felt like her feelings were not being received. Maybe she sensed neediness or instability, and her instinct was to retreat inward. Reason 2. A power shift test. This is more calculated, and it happens more than people admit. She is watching how you respond to her silence. Are you going to flood her with messages? Are you going to beg? Or are you going to remain composed? Your response to her silence tells her more about your character than almost anything else you could say. Reason 3. Genuine emotional overwhelm. She is not thinking about you at all. She is consumed by something in her own life, stress, family pressure, her own mental state, and the connection simply dropped to the back of her priority list. Reason 4. She is losing interest and does not know how to communicate it. This one is uncomfortable, but it belongs on the list. Sometimes silence is a slow fade, and the sooner you recognize it for what it is, the faster you can make an empowered decision about how to respond. Here is where most men hand over all their power without realizing it. They send the follow-up message, then another, then the check-in, then the casual message designed to look like they are not bothered, but that is completely transparent. Then the late-night message, then the overthinking spiral that leaks out in some indirect, anxious way. Every single one of those moves confirms the same thing to her. His emotional state is entirely dependent on my response. And nothing is less attractive than a man whose inner world collapses the moment a woman goes quiet. Attraction requires polarity. It requires the sense that you have your own gravity, that you exist powerfully with or without her attention. The moment you start orbiting her silence, you lose that gravity. And she can feel it instantly. Control in this context does not mean dominance over her. It means ownership of yourself, your emotions, your narrative, your energy. Here is how you actually do it. Step 1. Go completely silent yourself. Not as a tactic. as a practice of self-respect. You have said what you needed to say. You reached out. The ball is in her court. Leave it there. Every additional message is a withdrawal from your own dignity account. Step 2. Understand that her silence is information, not rejection. It is telling you something about where she is emotionally right now. Receive that information calmly instead of reacting to it desperately. Step 3. Ruthlessly redirect your attention. Your mind will try to drag you back to analyzing her last message, her last seen timestamp, her social media activity. Every time it does, physically redirect. Move your body. Change your environment. Call someone. Create something. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Stop donating it to someone who is not even in the room. Step 4. Get honest with yourself about what you actually want. Not her specifically, but what you want from a relationship. Do you want someone who communicates? Who shows up consistently? Who makes you feel stable and valued? Hold that standard clearly in your mind. Then ask whether this situation is actually meeting it. Step 5. If you choose to reach out one final time, do it from a place of fullness, not desperation. Short, warm, no pressure. Something that communicates, I am doing well, I value this connection, and I am leaving the door open. Then step away and mean it. The men who navigate this best are not the ones who master the perfect text. They're the ones who genuinely stop needing her to respond in order to feel okay. That is not coldness. That is not emotional shutdown. That is the highest form of self-respect, knowing that your worth is not located inside another person's phone. When you reach that place, truly reach it, not perform it, one of two things happens. She feels the shift in your energy, and it pulls her back, because security and groundedness are magnetic at a biological level. Or she does not come back, and you realize you no longer needed her to. Both outcomes give you your life back. The psychology of a woman ignoring you only has power over you when you do not understand it. Now you do. Use that understanding to come back to yourself, not to win a game, but to remember who you are outside of this. If this video gave you something real today, a new perspective, a moment of clarity, or just the feeling that someone finally explained what you are going through, then this channel was built for you. Subscribe to Psychology on Love right now. Because the men who understand human behavior at this level do not just have better relationships, they have better lives. Drop a comment below and tell me what hit hardest. I read every one, and your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Share this with one man who is in his head over a woman right now. One share from you could genuinely shift someone's entire situation. And if you want to go even deeper, the next video is already waiting for you. It covers something that almost no one talks about. And once you see it, you will never approach relationships the same way again. The best understanding of your life starts right now.